to do the class now because of the Independence Day. So now we are basically jumping back into what we finished off that day. So can you remember I told you to work on something? පොඩි වැඩක් දුන්නා මතකද? Okay. Did you get a chance to work on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. මොනවද ලිව්වේ? So yeah. So let's so since we are starting the lesson 2, let's jump in and see how we are going to create the tables. Okay, so how we are going to create the data tables, and let's talk about how we are going to run these queries and basically the data structuring part, right? Okay, so let's see, we have these 3 animals, right? We have a cat, we have a bee, and we have a penguin, right? So we have three animals. So from these 3 animals, we have a certain set of fields, or let's say categories, right? Categories mentioned as animal, can they fly, how many legs do they have, 6 legs, and lives in large groups and lives on land, right? So now let's say if we choose an animal and let's say if we work on this, Hari, so shall we so did you get to write this? Can you show it to me? මේක ලියන්න chance එකක් හම්බුණාද? Oh, තාම කරේ නැද්ද? හරි. Okay.
Sir, shall I send a photo?
Yes, please. Yes. Otherwise, you can show it to me on the camera. Just turn on your camera and show it to me then and there. That's also okay. බලමු මොනවද කරේ කියලා.
Sir, I'm not in the room. I am outside because of the power cut.
Ah, okay. Hari, no problem. Okay. So, okay, perfect. So, let me just ask you some questions then. So, let's say if we take an animal, so, okay, let's jump into this and see how it works. Right? Okay, so now the work is, now we need to start working on Excel. Okay, so when we start Excel, yeah, I just got it. Okay, hold on. Nice, perfect. So penguin, yes, cat, and nice. Okay, sound like that's great, perfect. Okay, so we'll do a slight change to this what you have written down. Na? So let's see. Now, if we go with something like this, a database. Okay, so we call this structure a database. What you can see behind me. Right? So, මොකටද database එක ඕනේ? Database එකක් ඕනේ so that we can list it down in a proper way so that it's easier for you to understand. හරි. දැන් මෙහෙම හිතන්න අපි ලොකු data set එකක් අරගෙන let's say අපි හිතමු you are going to explain this to someone else, let's say some sort of a person who doesn't know these details, right? Then when you have this big list of information like this, it's actually easy for you to explain them what it exactly says, right? So if we take an animal, we have the animal column and we have the specific groups, and for the column we have the value, right? එහෙම තමයි වැඩේ වෙන්නේ. column එකයි value එකයි column එකයි value එකයි. හරි. Okay. අපි මේක කරලා බලමු. Let's do this on Excel. හරි. So do you have Microsoft Excel on your laptop? Power Excel, Word, PowerPoint or तुरंत ही हाँ. Sorry, you do
I
have.
have.
You have, right?
Yes, I have.
Hare, nice, perfect. Okay, so let's actually work on this, and I will show you how it works. So first of all, have you done any Excel work before on grade 6? Sorry, on other grades?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did you all do? මොනවද කරේ?
Addition, subtractions.
You did it on Excel, Microsoft Excel.
Yes, sir.
Ah, nice. Okay, then let's then it would be easy for you. Okay, so let's jump in and see how it works. So let me change my camera and
Cell. Row. Column. Column. Yes, sir, I understood. No, no, yes, yes, no, yes. Cock- cockroach, I think they live in large group. Yes, I can. Yes, I can see. Yes. So my laptop shut down because of lack of the power. Yes, sir.
Once we get into this, yeah, once we get this data set done, then we know that we can use this to do a lot of stuff. So example is, now when it comes to creation of a table, primarily what we need is we need to have the sorting ability, right? Whatever the data we have, the data must be able to sort it, because that's how you use data, right? So if I explain this in a different with a different approach, think about think about this as a student list. Okay, so if we have a student list now, if I go back, so let's go back to the previous example we did about the school trip. Okay, so school trip එක. මේ තියෙන්නේ. හරි. So if we take this example, you can see now here these students and the surname and the gender and the from tutor, the house of the school, date of birth, and all these details must be particularly in a way where you should be able to sort it, right? Because example is, now let's say if somebody wants to get all the boys and the girls, right? Then obviously the only method would be to use the gender column, and when you sort it according to the gender, you can get the boys first and the girls second, or the girls first and the boys second, right? Likewise, you can sort it so that you can perform different activities on the data set and use the data set according to your need. Okay, so good, we learned something new, right? So we learned about how to create a table and how to create a data structure in Excel, and we learned how to convert something which is added to Excel to a table with the sorting ability, right? And we also learned that there's a fish who has 6 legs. Okay, so good that we learn something new every day, right? Okay, so I want you to try this out. So use the file which I already sent on the chat, and this file will be available on your LMS as well under the files. So you can actually download this file and play around with it. You can find it on the chat as well, so just feel free to download it. So I sent the file which I just created in the video during the video, so you can see how the sorting system works. Okay, now so we are at the end of this unit 2. So at the end, we always discuss what we learned, right? So in this case, we learned about how to create a database. So yes, you can create a database now. I can create a database. And how to use the filter and the sort functions of the database to find information. So now you know that as well, right? How to basically run this. And you know how to run simple queries. So simple queries means we basically went through that went through that table, and we found out that how we can select and filter and get the data set according to our requirement done, right? So yes, you can run simple queries right now as well. Okay, perfect. So Dinana, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Let's jump into the next part. I sent the document. I sent this note on the chat. I hope you were able to open this. Lesson 3 also. I sent the lesson 3 on chat as well. Okay, please do try to open this, and I will share the whole book sometime once we get into this one. Okay, so lesson 3. Now this is where we start to learn about perfect. So this is where we start to talk about spreadsheet, I mean like in-depth spreadsheets softwares, and work with some single table databases. Okay, so yes, we are going to talk about databases, as well as we will be learning about how to create something known as a database query. So we did something simple before where we did the sorting part. No, sorting can put it there. Then make අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නවා how to actually create database queries. Okay, So as you can see in this lesson, you will work on a database and learn how to create database queries. Okay? අපි බලමු ඇතුළට කියලා මොකක්ද කියන්නේ කියලා. Okay. So, what is a database? So we discussed about this database with in the previous module. So, from your point of view, what is a database? Dinanya?
Database is a collection of information.
Collection of information. Perfect. Okay. So we can so if we take it like this, if we take it collection of information, you can say database is a collection of organized data as well. Okay. So all of these points are correct, but what you said is perfect. Database is a collection of information which we will be using to manipulate and use in the system. Okay, so now in this database we need to run queries so that we will be able to get the data out of the database. හරි. query කියන්නේ query එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම you request කරනවා කියන්නේ you have the database and from the database you query, you ask or you query for the data. So example is, just think, okay, let's say if you take it like your mind is a database, and if I ask you, hey, what is your name, then I am querying for your name from your memory, right? So what you do is you will take your name from your memory, in your stored memory, and you will give the data set out, right? Simple as that. Okay, so that's how it works. So to format a table, now in Excel, where there are different ways which you need the data to be formatted so that you can actually pull out this particular data set. So to format a table in a spreadsheet, there are following few things which you need to do. Format the table means අපි දැන් ටිකකට කලින් කරපු දේ. හරි. අපි Excel එකේ we added the data and then we selected that area. අපි area එක select කරලා then we selected as format as a table. Format as a table button එක click කරලා අපි ඒක දුන්නා to make sure that area is selected as a table. Right? So ඒකේ තියෙන options ටිකක්. Okay, now we are going to learn about the options we have. So this format as a table button actually gives you a couple of options to format your data table. Okay, now we'll jump into this and let's see how it goes. So let me switch to the desktop view back again.
No, it's wrong. When talking about money and cents, Yes, I got that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Change the camera. Okay, perfect. So now what we learned was we went through the list of uh, tables which we can now create queries. Okay, this is basically we have what we have learned is the main at most primary point of tables. Okay, now since you now know how it works, now you can actually create as much as data tables as you want. So what I suggest is try to do your own data structure මොන හරි දෙයකට කරන්න. So example is if you let's say if you get a event, if you get to handle any event, if you get to let's say uh, doing something let's say what do you call it මේ අපි හිතමු මොකක් හරි පාටි එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. පාටි එකක් තියෙනවා නම් so in that party you want to create a list of guests, right? So when you want to create that list of guests, create an Excel file. Get your parents to give you the laptop or the computer, and then create an Excel file. Put all the details. ඔක්කොම දාන්න මොනවද තියෙන්නේ කියලා. I used to do that. So when we have this alms giving and different parties at my home, what I do is I create I create an Excel sheet and I put all the guests what they want to eat and their age and people who eats who love to eat meat and people who are vegetarian. And then when it comes to an almsgiving, I normally put all the dishes and what type of dishes we are going to order and how many people can eat or can consume one dish. Likewise, work on creating that data structure. Okay, so then once you create that data structure, then you can help your parents and others to actually sort this out. So let's say අපි exam එකට ගමු මේ party එකක් තියෙනවා we want to get, so first you get the guest list. Okay, so let's say you have 30 guests coming from your family, right? Then based on these 30 guests, then how many of them are vegetarian and how many of them are non-vegetarians, right? So මෙතන list එක ගත්තා, දැම්මා vegetarian or meal preference, veggie or non-veggie. දාගෙන හරි. Oh, so when you are trying to buy some food, then next time all you need to do is filter according to the veggie or non-vegetarian people, and then you can find out how much food you want to buy. and what is the type of food and how much you need to plan in order to get them into the system. Right? So all those details can be added in, and then once it's added, then you have a clear view of everything. So you can do that in this type of a system, as well as why not plan your education, your classes. So example is, you can create an Excel sheet like this, put the class date and the topic and what you have covered, right? And then again the date and the topic and what you have covered. So you can put the date as the date type, and then you can keep a track of all the classes which you have done, and you can put a small note on the side as well, where you can mention what you went through or what you learned, right? So all those information can be captured, right? Okay, so likewise, after that, you can filter it out and understand. Let's say, okay, so let's say we went through 5 classes, and in those 5 classes, you specifically highlight 5 points which you are going to study, right? And at a certain point, you need to check and understand, find out what are the points which you have to study, and you have to select them out. So you can keep a small column, says, mentions as, or says as, need to study or already studied, right? Then you can filter it according to your filters and find out what are the pending topics to study, right? So all these things are specifically the points which you can follow up in your life when it comes to Excel. Okay, so it's really important. Databases, this is not just being used in industry for businesses and all. This is actually can be used by into any points of your life. So that's the explanation about databases, and hey, we finished the 3rd lesson as well. So what did we learn in this lesson? So we learned about formatting a database. So we learned about how to format a database, and we learned about how to filter and answer more complex search queries. So we learned about how to format a database by creating that table and formatting it as a table. And we saw how to add colors, how to add filters, how to add data types, cell formatting, right? And then we learned about how to filter, how we can filter. And we talked about advanced filtering as well. So now you guys are experts. Now you know how to work on a full database. Okay, perfect. So, Didanya, how is it? Any questions?
Masters.
Okay, perfect. How about Dyson, right? You just joined. Hi. I think I pronounce your name correctly. Oh, Dyson.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. So yes, please do go through the video again. I will be sharing this in the LMS. And Dyson, am I pronouncing your name correctly? How do you pronounce your name?
Dison.
Dison. Okay, perfect. So Dison, I shared this file which we just went through in the WhatsApp chat. So please do ask your parents to download this and go through it. So open my video on a side and try out what we did. So go through all the filtering and the points we did, so that you can try it out. Also try to create a new table, like as we did in the beginning of the lecture. So put some data sets and try to create a properly working data table so that you can see how it works. Okay, so okay, super guys. So that would be it for today. So we'll be jumping into the 4th lesson next week.